Cleaning corrosive ammo from your gun once you use it. It's a lot of stuff out there. I've given advice to people. Nobody seems to listen, so I'm going to make a video and show you 3 different techniques on how to clean corrosive ammo residue from your gun. The reason it's important to do this, okay, why is ammunition corrosive? It's in the priming compound. Some countries still use it. The United States stopped doing it for military ammo after World War II. Okay? It's surefire. It lasts forever. The ammunition will guaranteed to go off after 50, 60 years. That's why they use it. Okay? The downside is, unless you clean and maintain the weapon immediately, like within a few days, 24 hours, it will cause serious damaging effect to the inside of the bore. Now, we like to shoot our Mosins and we want to get proficient with it. And the most economical way to shoot them is to use the military corrosive ammo. The problem is people just don't understand about cleaning them. Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 different techniques, and then I'm going to have a second part to this video where I check the bores in a few days and in a week. And then I'll tell you how it came out, how it worked, and if we had to re-clean or touch up the cleanup job. It is a downside. It's kind of a pain, but you should properly clean and maintain your weapons. There's going to be 3 techniques. I'm going to use the minimalist technique. I'm going to use a technique using a store-bought solvent. And I'm going to use something a little unorthodox that I've been experimenting with. So you'll have 3 different ways of doing this. Now, people tell you hoppies, use hoppies number 9, all this, it's rated, or spraying WD-40 down. One guy told me he soaks the barrel with WD-40. They're all solvents. You have to use water to wash away the corrosive priming salts. So the cleaner or the solvent, like black powder cleaner, has to have a water base, not a solvent base. This here is Muzzle Magic, a water-based solvent for black powder and muzzle loaders. Okay, water is what you got to use to scrub the bore out with, plain and simple. That's all it takes, is just water, and then you can clean it normally with hoppies. So the key is to wash out the bore with water. Okay. Some people go pour boiling water down the barrel. Okay, which the old black powder, you plug the barrel up, fill it up with hot water, scrub it out. Alright, that's a little, so this is the first method we're going to use. You're going to need hot water, WD-40. And the reason you use WD-40 is WD-40 dissipates water. In other words, when you spray it down the bore, it'll draw all the water out of the bore and clean it out. So, get some hot water. Now, the easiest way to do it is take a coffee maker. Or you can use tap water. You know, you don't have to boil water, have it boiling. And you need a can. This can is specifically, I keep this can for doing this. So you take your hot water, you get a coffee maker, or use one at a garage sale or whatever. It's just this water's hot. And you put about 2-3 inches of this hot water down in there. Just put a minimal amount in the can. Put the can on the floor. You get a clean patch on the end of a slotted rod. Just thread that through. Clean patch on the rod. I use this with black powder cartridge guns. Take the muzzle, stick it down into the end of the can. Just got to cover the end. Put the patch down in. You'll see the air bubbles come out. and you just want to pump water, the pumping motion. See all the black stuff coming out in and out of your gun. You know, get it up. Make sure you get up into the chamber. And you see, there it is, all black, nasty. There's your water flush out. Now we'll set that over there. We're going to take a break for a minute and come back to this in a second. Okay, now we got the bore wet. Take a bronze brush, because a lot of this military ammo, it's nasty. It gets in there. It's tough stuff to clean out, no matter what you do. I'm going to run a brush through there a few times. Give it a scrubbing and loosen up any stuff in there. Okay? And then we're going to repeat the water thing. So we'll stop here for a second. You can see our water's kind of black. So what I'm going to do is dump this out, put fresh water in, and then flush that bore again and see if anything else got loosened up in there. Alright, I've dumped out the old water, put in another thing of clean water. We ran the brush through to try to loosen up any heavy buildup. So we'll get the pumping action going again. And this time, the water's not turning black, but we'll flush it out a little more and see how well we've done. See the difference? It's hardly nothing in there now. Okay, so we can safely say we've gotten most of the residue washed out. Now, water has gone down into the magazine well and everything. So you may have to take the gun apart, make sure no water has gotten underneath the action or whatever. So probably a good disassembly of the whole weapon is good. Be a good idea. Now, we got a bore full of water. Now it's time for the WD-40. You hold the gun like this, take the WD-40, and spray it down in there. So you get it good and soaked with WD-40, and that'll make any water residue run out. And take the rifle, set it on some newspapers or a rag in a corner, and let that run down. Okay? And that should cure any rust from the water. Then swab the bore out with a dry patch, get it clean and dry, and then clean it with Hoppy's number 9 using a brush or just that. Clean it out with Hoppy's just to make sure. Probably disassemble the gun, make sure all the water didn't leak down into the trigger guard, the trigger mechanism, you know, into the magazine. Anything, if there is water, spray everything down with WD-40. Then clean it with Hoppy's like you normally would, and that should be a good thorough cleaning. And then if you want to oil the bore or put some protectant on it, do that. Okay. Alright, second method you can use is just use a water-based solvent like muzzle loading cleaner. You can go and find World War II military bore cleaner. I'm not going to cover this because I don't know where you can get it. I don't know if there's supplies of it. I bought a couple cases of this stuff 20 years ago, and I can here in this one it's like the water part of it's evaporated. The can's rust in it. So you just take your black powder bore cleaner, get your patch wet. It's kind of a pinkish watery stuff. First step, run it down the muzzle, get your bore nice and saturated with a saturated patch. Give your bore a good swab so you get the fluid in there. Okay? And what I do is, like I said, this military stuff can get nasty. So once we got the fluid in there, I like to scrub it out with a bronze brush, loosen up anything, and you just get some more of the fluid on the brush. I'm going to brush up and in there a few times, loosen up everything. And, you know, run your patches through and clean it normally, like with normal fluid. And you can also go, once you're done with this, just run your patches through till they're clean. Maybe run another wet patch down there. And you can go and double check it depending on how it looks. Clean it with hoppies if you want. So you can clean this, just normal fluid. Get your bore clean, and then lubricate it. Oh, that nasty crap comes out there. Alright, that's the second method. Alright, now the last method we have, which is a little bit unorthodox, is you use the same thing other than, with a corrosive bore cleaner, but Windex. Now I heard this on different forums online with black powder shooters and that, you use Windex. And I also try to clean corrosive ammo. So we'll spray a little Windex down the bore, spray some on a patch, and same technique, run a patch through the bore. Now, give it a good swabbing. Run a bronze brush down there, loosen up anything, it usually helps. And that's another thing you can use, because I believe Windex is water-based. So, it's got ammonia in it. I don't know if that makes a difference in the cleaning or whatever. Some on the brush there. With the corrosive military ammo, you always kind of want to run a little bronze brush through to loosen up the residue. This stuff usually, it hangs in there tight. I mean, you got to scrub it. This Russian military ammo, I've shot other corrosive ammos that cleaned a lot easier. This stuff here kind of bakes right on, and you see it's nasty. But believe it or not, simple old Windex. Just clean it normal, check it. But check it not only a day or two, check it a week after to make sure, the rust might not show up immediately in a few days. If you don't clean it, it will. But check it in a week, 2 weeks. Just keep an eye on it to make sure. And if any rust shows up, just re-clean it. Use the brush, try to scrub it out, some oil in there, and clean it again. And that's about it. Then you should have no trouble with corrosive ammo. Okay, we have our 3 rifles where we're going to do our corrosive bore cleaning experiment. And this here is 48 hours. I did take a quick look at them yesterday, but I just didn't film it. But it's 2 days since we cleaned them. The first rifle we did with the hot water in the can and hoppies. And I'm just going to shine the light down the bore and take a good examination of it. Make sure it's... Now this bore is rough. It wasn't a clean bore, but I don't see any rust. It's kind of hard to tell what a bore was kind of in a rough condition to begin with, but I don't see rust or anything building up. What you're looking for is you're going to look for like a fuzziness or a darkness. Any black residue is rust. This is the one with the clean bore. Now this rifle was cleaned with the black powder cleaner. That's all. We cleaned it just with it's a Birchwood Casey's black powder cleaner. And this has a mint bore that's smooth down in the grooves and that, so it would be easy to spot anything. And that's shiny, bright, no discoloration, no fuzz or rust growing in there. So the black powder bore cleaner did good. This gun's hard to tell, but it looks like there's no rust in there, so the hot water method worked also with hoppies. This here is the Windex. This rifle is the Windex experiment. We'll use the Windex as a bore solvent on the corrosive. And we're good. We're clean. No darkness, no rust, nothing. So 48 hours, all three methods have held up well and work good in cleaning the corrosive primer. We'll check in 5 or 6 days. Okay? Okay, now it's been 6 days since the cleaning, almost a week. I'm probably going to go out and shoot these 3 guns again, so we're going to check the bores, and we haven't done anything other than the original cleaning. And now we're going to take a look at them after 6 days, what condition there is. And if something's going wrong, you should be able to see it by now. Alright, this rifle here was cleaned with hot water in a little tin can and then with hoppies afterwards. And a note on that, as you see when I sprayed the WD-40 and let the, dissipate the water out of the barrel, that hot water kills the salts, but it don't take none of the black stuff out. When I clean it with hoppies, a lot of black residue come out. So make sure you clean it well after you flush it out with water. Take a look at sunlight here, so we get a real good look. Yeah, that's good. No rust, no buildup, no discoloration. Now the gun, we used the black powder bore cleaner, Birchwood Casey's. This gun's got a mint bore, so this should be easy to see anything going on when your bore is nice and smooth. And there it is, shiny, bright, smooth, no rust. So that method worked fine. Now comes the Windex experiment, which surprisingly, I believe this will work. Yeah, clean, great. So the Windex works as a bore solvent for cleaning out corrosive ammo. So there's 3 different techniques you can use, and just whichever one you do, just double check in a couple days and make sure no rust is showing up there. So there should be no reason why you should be afraid of using corrosive ammo, and everybody should have hot water or Windex in the house. You ain't even got to go out and buy the black powder cleaner. I prefer the black powder cleaner, but either one of these 3 methods will work, and you should be able to shoot cheap and have a lot of fun with these guns using corrosive ammo if you follow the instructions in this video and do a good job of cleaning. Okay?